completely muted. Oh my god, I do apologize.
Hey, we're back. In a nutshell, we were talking about how great MC is and how excited we are to have SortOf here. He lives in Korea right now, which means he's getting Korean StarCraft playing powers, which everybody seems to. So should be able to give MC definitely an incredible game here, especially considering most people do consider the ZVP matchup to be a little bit Zerg favored. So he's got a bit of an advantage. I'm not going to say they're overpowered by any means, but Zergs do know how to handle what Protoss can throw at them in 2019.
Yeah, I do apologize about that sound, guys. We did our intros and everything, but of course we're muted for them. Of course I was forgetting something. I got distracted by the scenes and stuff having to be corrected, but anyway, so we are here, Afreeca World, MC versus SortOf. We're getting on into it now. MC doing the standard Protoss Adept Scout, just to make sure that there's nothing crazy, like spot out like a ton of early lings or anything like that. And then just going for a Stargate. So MC actually going for a very standard opening so far.
Incredibly standard. And one thing I love about Protoss right now is that they are the most scoutingest race in StarCraft 2. They will probe scout. They will then adept scout. They will then Phoenix scout. They will make sure they know exactly what their opponent is doing, especially if it's Zerg in the first 5 minutes of the game, so they're never caught by surprise. I really wish other races did this. I really wish Zerg didn't feel so comfortable with everything. They only ever sent out slower lords to see what's going on, and sometimes that's too late.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a handful of things that Protoss can do. Like, for example, you don't want to get caught off guard by a double Stargate. This Overlord for SortOf is coming in here. It's actually going to identify that MC is going for a second Phoenix, which is pretty interesting, and queuing up a third, actually. So MC is going to be committing just a double Stargate Phoenix, and then got an Oracle out as well. We'll see what he's able to get done with that. MC, of course, he's still relatively fresh back in the scene, but he's still got that fantastic control and micro, able to find one drone so far. Got to be careful not to lose that Oracle, though.
Wow, that's a lot of queens from SortOf already. What's he rolling with? He's got 5 already with another one on the way. Yeah, he's this is very much forgetting who the player is who loves their queens.
Every European Zerg?
I know, every European Zerg, but the first one I really started to see do it.
Snoot Inertio, maybe?
Snoot. It was definitely Snoot. Thank you. Yep, that was the guy. You would just get nothing but lings and queens for the first, like, 15 minutes, it felt like, and defend everything with it. And I was just, my mind was blown by how effective that was. Obviously, it's not that long exactly, but queens can work well against air units, decent against ground units. Lings can support there too. And Phoenix Ball's coming up here. Does he have... Yeah, there's two gate pressure here off of Phoenix. I've seen too many PvZs recently, though, where the Phoenix come in. There's more of them than you'd expect because there's 2 gateways producing them. They get a lot of damage done, upwards of 20 drones killed here, and you're feeling like, all right, the Protoss is in a great spot. But then the Zerg is suddenly fine. They just keep pumping those workers, no big deal. So I'm not sure if this is exactly what MC needs to do here. The Adepts are, there's no way they finish that shade. Okay, no. They just get the scout off. They do, in fact, scout the Hydralisk Den coming in. There's a Baneling Nest in production here, too. Going to be a Ling Hydra Baneling strategy from SortOf.
Yeah, SortOf actually really delayed his speed this game. Like, we're 6 minutes in, he's just finishing up his speed now. Like,
wow.
He got his lair and everything else before speed, and that's partially because he scouted out what he was going up against. Usually, Protoss will try and successfully hide the second Stargate, the fact that they're building more than literally 1 Phoenix. But SortOf, he got a fair bit of a heads up for that, and that's why we're seeing him with such an amount of queens, with 7 Spore Crawlers, and then being able to do something like delay his speed a little bit. But now, yeah, now he's just pretty much shut down the Phoenix. MC's transitioning, got double Robo on the way.
Yep, double Robo for those Immortals, which are fantastic here. Even if your opponent's going Hydra and that bonus damage isn't a thing, they're still really great. Lings try to knock down this forward Warp Gate, but Oracle should be able to murder every single one of those Lings, so they do manage to back off, no problem. Templar Archives on the way from MC here too. Making some Zealots, getting those upgrades. Muscular Augment's just about done here for SortOf. So Lingbane Hydra, it really comes down to Storm Control. If you're going to go for these Archons and these High Templar, obviously you're going to want the Storm as fast as you can get it out. You need to storm those Hydras. If you're not storming Hydras and you don't have any other kind of splash damage, it's really, really hard to take them down. You can maybe kind of do it with a ton of charge lots, but that requires the Zerg player to not have the best micro in the world. And SortOf is definitely one of the Zergs that has the best micro in the world.
You generally need something to in order to support the Protoss army versus the Hydras, whether it is, say, like a ton of Zealots and maybe some Sentries, or as MC is going for Psystorm. Psystorm really is the ultimate answer because it shuts down Banes, it shuts down Hydras.
Lings too.
Yeah, it shuts down everything. Psystorm, pretty good at what it does.
Good unit, yeah. Colossus, I did forget about Colossus. Colossus can handle Hydralisk
versus
really
Zerg, though,
effectively.
do we ever really see Colossus?
No, we really don't.
No.
That's just because Storm is better. I think Colossus is okay, is what I'm trying to say.
Like, the Colossus, they have very good DPS versus Light, but, like, they don't really get out the damage as quick as Psystorm does. Like, Psystorm, it puts out a lot of damage really quick. It takes Colossus a little while to get the damage out, and that's kind of an issue when a ton of Hydras and Banelings are crashing on you right away. But, no, MC's still just sharking around with these Phoenix.
Yep, just trying not to lose too many of them while he's killing stuff. And you can account for losing 1 or 2 here, but the problem is he hasn't killed any drones, really. 4 basically is 0, sort of sitting happily at 78 workers. I just really feel like Zergs are pleased if the Protoss player opens up double Stargate with Phoenix Pressure. They're fine with it. They know how to defend against it. They can keep their worker count up, and at 9 minutes, they're sitting at 80 workers, and then they can just max out an army before 10 minutes, and they're just totally pleased. I just don't know if this is a viable strategy in PvZ anymore.
Oh, lots of Banelings rolling on in here. Cannon should be able to shut that down, although some of them are making their way to the mineral line. Only 2 probes go down. Good reaction. But
yeah,
no,
bad trade there.
The Phoenix build for MC. I mean, the main thing is that it was scouted. Protoss always want it to be a surprise, where in this case, it definitely was not. Sort of knew it was coming, because I actually cast SortOf versus Zest earlier, and Zest had quite a bit of success with it.
So that's what I'm saying. You can get a bunch of kills, right? You can kill up to 20 workers or so if the Zerg player is caught off guard. As there's a bit of an engagement here, Banelings are trying to get on top. Nice dodge with those Banelings on the Zealots. Nice storms, though. And the force fields keeping those Banelings away. Absorbing more shots are the Zealots there. And that's it for the Banelings. Now it's going to be Ling Hydra versus Storm versus Immortals. The Phoenix are lifting and killing as many of these Hydralisks as they can. The Oracle's in the mix too, using Pulsar Beam, and sort of looks like he's in full retreat right here.
Yeah, gonna lose off a lot of these units. Phoenix punish any player who tries to retreat from them. These Hydras just getting lifted up left and right. And so that was a good engagement for MC. His control looking very good late. Looking very good still. He has definitely not lost it. Sort of planning to get another big Ling run by. There's a few cannons up, but maybe not enough here. Only 3 cannons. This is a lot of Lings heading towards MC's base. May need to warp something, and although they're actually going to make it into the natural where there's no defense whatsoever, an Immortal pops out, but Lings are now on the workers, and they are forced to retreat.
They've got the +1 attack, +2 is finishing up here. But 2 Immortals surprisingly good against this number of Zerglings. Banelings crashing on the Immortals is exactly what MC wants. Sort of did not want that at all. The Banelings were effectively useless there. Archon's getting that splash damage versus Biological. They have that bonus. Even storming the Queens a little bit here is MC. Army supply is 67 and 56. Having a giant Protoss army on your front door is never a good thing. He does snipe down the 4th hatchery and calls it a good day's work and gets the heck on out of there. But the Greater Spire is done for SortOf.
Oh, wow, it is. Yeah, MC, he's got to get out. He lost pretty much all the support for the Immortals, so no Zealots and not any more Psystorm, so MC does have to do something about that. But like you said, that Greater Spire, I didn't even see SortOf getting that up behind that. Like,
it was fast.
Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty quick Greater Spire, particularly since SortOf also committed to an attack. And I'm not even sure if it's on MC's mind that he's got to prepare for something like that. Well, there's a fleet beacon going up.
Now we know.
Of course MC knows.
How? Hang on, though. Vision check. Where is that Greater Spire? He doesn't know it exists.
Oh, he saw the hive morphing, so...
Okay, that's fair then.
Yeah, now...
I mean, he knows it's not going to be Ultralisk because he has like 10 Immortals.
Yeah. Oh man, some of these Immortals have a pretty good number of kills, like 12, 11. Immortals doing work.
They always do. Immortals and Archons, man. Just kill machines. Killing machines, even. But yeah, sniping down that base by SortOf was huge. It is now 4 base to 4 base.
Oh.
And that +2 is done, so they do one-shot Banelings. But what's the attack at the 5th base down there by MC?
Oh, Zealots, nicely done. A Warp Prism.
Yep, manages to sneak on in.
So this may really light a fire under MC's butt, saying, okay, Broodlords could definitely be on the way now. So, but he still isn't committing to anything else. We haven't even seen Blink, which is sort of like the Hail Mary attempt at dealing with Broodlords. So for now, MC with no Archon. He is wildly unprepared for Broodlords right now, sort of attacks.
He's making more High Templar, which I think he's going to turn into Archons. No, there it is. So 2 Archons in production. Has that Tempest starting now too. Tempest are so much better than they used to be. With that speed, with the maneuverability, keeping the same amount of damage they used to, taking a bit of an HP nerf. But their maneuverability means they can kite so much better than they used to be able to and really hit Broodlords from distance and pull back before they get sniped down by anything else.
Yeah, MC trying to buy time though. He sent some Zealots to the left, sort of dealt with that, but now he's heading on down towards the south here. Broodlords are moving into position though, so MC probably not going to be able to stick around for too long. Maybe he can get the base and get out, but sort of is
not looking
to
good. I mean, if the Immortals just focus down the hatch, I think they can get it. But he doesn't even want to try. He doesn't want to engage here at all. He's pulling back. He sees more Broodlords morphing in at the front. Got more Banelings attempting to get into that 4th base, and 5 probes go down, but other than that, not a huge massacre. Still, 65 workers is MC. He's got to be pretty happy about that number.
Yeah, retreating versus the Broodlords. Thankfully for MC, they are slow, but he now has another Stargate on the way, so making 2 Tempest at a time, getting +1, definitely going to help out. Like you said, the Tempest a lot more mobile, but the concern for Tempest dealing with, like, mass Corruptors is that they do have less health, so if Corruptors dive on top of the Tempest, that's where it becomes problematic, so yeah, we'll see if that's just what's going to happen. MC's still just working on building up that count, sort of continuously counter-harassing, by the way.
Yeah, man, SortOf is one of those Zergs that really love their Zerglings all throughout the entire game. So here are the Broodlords trying to get that ground army.
Those are some good Psystorms going down. I mean, Psystorm does a fair bit of damage to Broodlords. The main thing is, though, SortOf has brought his Queens here to heal up these units. MC's Tempest need to be careful not to overextend. They are basically his lifeline for dealing with these Broodlords.
What is that? There was a Viper that flew in and did nothing. It got feedbacked.
Yeah.
And then just flew in and died. There's Lings inside MC's base right now. Ooh. His probe count is plummeting. Zealots are dealing with it, but he just lost 16 probes right there. Immortals dealing with the ground pretty darn well. Tempests are just getting crushed by these Corruptors. As you mentioned here, the Corruptors are all gone. The Broodlings are getting that surround. The Immortals aren't even really being microed all that much. How are we dealing with the Broodlords? I don't know if MC has an answer to this. I mean, a Tempest comes out, the Corruptors immediately burn it down to the ground. It's gone.
Yeah, Tempest, they just don't have the might to trade versus a large number of Corruptors. I mean, Archon's trying their best to get under the Broodlords, but no, sort of having that condition which he needs that MC can't deal with. Well played.
Yeah, amazingly well played. As you mentioned, during the game, it seemed like MC took a while to get up to the counter to Broodlords once he even knew that they were coming. He didn't really start making Archons. He really didn't start producing Tempest. Even though his Fleet Beacon went down earlier, it took him a while to get that Tempest production up. And I wonder if he was worried about having enough Templar to deal with the Hydralisks and the Zerglings, and then his secondary concern was the Broodlords. But the rush distance on this map is pretty short. He was able to get, was able to get Queens up there to support the Broodlords, which was huge. Notice a lot of transfuses going down, and that was basically the key, was keeping those Broodlords alive, Corruptors diving on top of the newer, weaker Tempests, and that was all she wrote. Nice job by SortOf.
Yeah, very well done. We'll find out what the next map is for these guys, but let's see. Second map is going to be Parasite. So a larger one. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Like, MC, I mean, like, his mid-game looked pretty strong. Like, he didn't take really too much damage to Ling counterattacks. Like, he was constantly harassing, and his control was well. Just, in the end, he didn't have an answer to the Broodlords.
Yeah, I mean, in short, if you don't have an answer to Broodlords as Protoss, you're toast. And honestly, you don't have an answer to Broodlords as Terran, also you're dead. It's not like it's a Protoss unique thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Broodlords are fairly easily handled in a lot of situations. If you know they're coming, get ready for them. MC just didn't scout it fast enough or prepare for it zippy enough either. So it looks like our players are ready to go. Like LaughNgamez said, we are on Parasite for game number 2 of this best of 5, and cannot wait for this game 2.
Yeah, once you begin getting choked out by, say, like the Broodlords, that's when it's usually lights out. We don't see many people with Broodlords attacking their base be able to muster a defense just out of thin air. You really need to prepare for it ahead of time. And MC just with 1 Stargate making Tempest, then eventually 2. Not enough. Might have needed some Void Rays or something else, or more Archons. But anyway, we're into the next game.
Indeed we are. Check this out. We're already here.
Spawning down. in the bottom right-hand side of the map. It's the Swedish Zerg player playing for Team Cascade. It's SortOf.
And in the top left, the red Protoss player, it is MC.
Yeah, the boss toss back in action. I always love being able to cast old players who've come back just to see where they're at.
It is. It is always nice to see. I mean, even if maybe they're not quite on top of their game, they're still very, very dangerous. And I mean, it's not like a professional sport, right? Where if a quarterback or a soccer player takes a couple of years off and tries to come back, it usually doesn't go that well. You still have the ability to play StarCraft at a pretty high level, even if you take a break from it. It's not like your physical gifts have deteriorated that much in that amount of time. I mean, sure, your twitch reflexes are maybe slower than they used to be. And sure, maybe you have a harder time absorbing information as your brain becomes a little bit more rigid as you get older. But all in all, I really expect MC to be able to get back up to near, if not exactly to where he used to be in the StarCraft 2 scene.
Yeah, exactly. Like his control and everything's still very, very good. That's the main thing I love. Like even parting when he was recently returning, we had him. It's sort of just like a thing in Afreeca world. We try and have returning players, but the thing that really stands out with these Protoss players is that their mechanics, like their micro and everything. Guys like MC Parting, who had it very good, it's still very good. Look at him just harassing with this probe here, just being a pain.
So good. And really, that's what you have to do. Like, I don't know who sat down with MC and was like, hey, all right, so here's the current meta for PvZ, or if he's just been keeping up on it, right? If MC's just been watching a ton of StarCraft and not necessarily competing himself, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and he's rapidly been improving too. Like, I cast a show match of him versus Kiwian, aka Top. He's a streamer.
Yeah.
And he's like a pretty solid Terran. He's not like at a pro level or anything, but like he's up there in the GM ladder. He beats MC the first time, and then they have a rematch, and MC sort of just demolishes him in the second one. So it's like MC is rapidly getting back into form.
Yep. Which, as we said, is just always the best to see this. I mean, it's always nice to see younger players come up and get to that level of elite StarCraft playing as well, but the old guard being around and still doing what they're doing, really, that kind of completes the picture. The young kids and the old kids playing against each other and seeing who could be more dominant, and it's just a ton of fun. So once again, Stargate opening here from MC. Adept coming in for the Scout is going to say, all right, so nothing crazy so far. Checks that third base that is on the way from SortOf, tells him, all right, so no crazy two-base all-ins, at least from SortOf. I should be able to macro up normally for a while.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we'll see, like, oh, 2 Lings get in. That's no good.
Oh, Adept, what? No.
I always wonder about that timing, because Protoss players who send out their first 2 Adepts usually do leave themselves exposed for a little bit, so SortOf sneaking 2 Lings in. Now MC's going to have to deal with that while trying to micro these Adepts. So far he gets 2 drones, but these Adepts are surrounded, so...
And they are both dead, without question.
Yes, they are.
The Lings get cleaned up? They did. I think the probes probably fought their way to safety there.
Yeah, they're pretty good at that when the time comes, just dealing with 2 Lings.
Yep. If the Lings aren't perfectly well microed, especially if they're trying to pick off probes, they will get killed by those probes. And SortOf was busy defending on his side of the map, so I don't think he had the attention necessarily to deal with his guys on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Now, MC, he went for a double Stargate in the last game, but this time he's queuing up 2 Oracles. We'll see if he throws up another one. I doubt you do that kind of build twice in a row.
I don't know. And like I'm telling you, I just don't know how viable it is. I could be entirely wrong about it, but I haven't seen a Protoss player win when going for that mass Phoenix strategy in the early game. Even if they get damage done economically, it seems like the Zerg player can bounce back without too many issues. So definitely not what MC's going for here. He's going for a quick Twilight Council.
Oh, okay.
Actually, and a robotics facility here, so he's just getting all the tech paths.
Did somebody say Adept timing?
It sure seems like it. Resonating glaive Adept timings are pretty strong. Again, it's something I think SortOf has seen about 300,000 times. So I don't know that he'll struggle with it necessarily. He's got a Roach Warren coming up. The Roaches are the great answer to this.
Could be charge. We'll see. Ooh, an Overlord does get in for SortOf, though, once again with a nice scout. Where's that Phoenix? Completely out of position, so MC not checking out for those.
Yep, he's going to see the robotics facilities. He's going to go ahead and see that. Is he going to set the Templar archives? Where's that coming up?
Oh, look at this, though. Adepts get into the third base. MC with a bit of an odd adept timing. 4 into the third base while the oracles hit the natural. Now we'll see what else these adepts are going to get. Going to get a few more drones, it looks like. 7 in total. 8.
Yeah, I just feel like the adepts are a pretty decent answer here. 9 drones go down for a couple of adepts. The Overlord scouted everything but the Templar archives and the robotics facility. Didn't see that one either.
If SortOf was really paying attention, he could have seen that there was nothing researching at the Twilight.
And then just assume something else is going on.
Then assume, like, okay, it's got to be like either a Dark Shrine or a Templar Archives.
Archon drops. Archon drops is the play for MC.
Yeah, you definitely can't go wrong with this build now. SortOf looking to hit that third base once again with his Link counterattacks. Also trying to hit into the main base. MC. His Archon was scouted there, though, so SortOf should be prepared for this, but I was actually curious, like, how well MC will be able to control this Warp Prism.
Yeah, it's one of the harder things to do, is do really effective Archon Warp Prism harassment without losing anything. The best players can do it, and it's a sight to behold, but it's not something that's readily available to everybody at every level. So the roaches are out. 6 roaches in production. Roaches are the answer here. Lings just really can't cut it. Queens alone just really can't cut this either. Roaches need to be up there to take damage off the Archons and force them back, although Free Overlord is a good way to start.
Yes, indeed. Now MC's got a third going up behind this charge. Immortal production, +1 on the way. So the very standard follow-up behind this. Phoenix also finding another Overlord, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. Doesn't supply block Sword. Oh, it does supply block
for
about
a
second.
Going right on in like this, but he can always hide at the back there. Might have to recall this Prism, though.
Yeah, I don't know if he... There's the recall. Good call. Man, he's off the mini-map. He was so far on the edge there.
Just tucking away in that corner.
Zerglings again trying to get in. Bob the Zealot says, no, this is my house. I have an Immortal supporting, so get on out. An Immortal's not incredibly useful, but any damage against Lings is going to be good damage against Lings. SortOf's going Lurker this game, LaughNgamez.
He did... I actually cast him versus Zest on this map, and he did the exact same thing. And I think the main thing about the Lurkers is they're a very powerful tool defensively. Like
defensively, yes, but man, do I worry about Immortals just crushing those things in about 3 seconds flat.
Yeah, MC's only got 2 Immortals, though. And just the thing is, MC's moving in right now, and this is a bit of an odd timing from him. Like, this is a little bit before, like, usually one of the big attacks. Is sort of, he's not even going to be able to get out Lurkers as an option. He's just making Roaches and Hydras to defend right now. And we'll see if MC pushes this. I mean, it's a bit risky moving out with this. He's going for some
simultaneously Zealot attack inside the main base, taking down 3 drones, and while that's happening, he's moving on into the third base on the left side. So Corrosive Bile's landing, killing a Zealot, actually. Poor guy, just managed to take it right to the face. And that is just too much. That is too much Roach, that is too much Ravager, and the Immortal Archon is not going to be enough to do anything in that situation.
Just need to recall these units here.
Is it off cooldown?
It's pretty quick these days. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. It's smaller and it's faster. Or just quicker to be off cooldown, yeah.
MC does have Psystorm, though.
Oh, did he lose his Lurker? His Lurker then got sniped, or he canceled it, because he's remaking it.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if Zealots took it down. That's amazing. That's a great pickup for MC if that's the case.
SortOf coming in. Pretty ambitious attack since MC is Psystorm, though, so we'll see. There goes 2 Psystorms. Pretty fantastic storms at that. All the High Templar have gone down, though, and there's surprisingly little buffer for these Immortals. A lot more Zealots warping in, but they're not in the fight just yet, so SortOf trading out pretty well. These Immortals need to stay alive. If the Zealots can buffer for them, then the Immortals are free to put out their damage. So far, MC holding on, but he is down supply 30 to 80 right now.
Yow. That is horrible. Economically, we're looking okay, but making more Immortals, making some more High Templars, some more Zealots. I'm really surprised SortOf didn't push there. The storm was gone. I don't know what he was super worried about.
Yeah.
But he's being really circumspect.
Yeah, I mean, because it looks like he also got the Warp Prism, too, so he doesn't even have to worry about, like, a Zealot counterattack, so...
Changeling's getting absolutely wiped out there.
Yeah, MC, he has not warped in any more High Templar for Psystorm. There's the first that he just warped in, so it's going to be a while before he has even a single Psystorm. So SortOf may be free to poke and prod MC a little bit. All the while, SortOf's getting up into lurkers as well, and he's warping these on the front line, so he wants to go for a kill move, it looks like. And does MC even have an observer? No, he does not. He lost his oracles as well.
Oh, snap. These cannons need to live. They really need to live for him right now. Ling's trying to get into that fourth base. Enough zealots to chase those guys around. They're +1 zealots. They almost have +2. But man, 7 lurkers on the way. Army supply 125 to 80 right now. And simultaneous attacks here, right side, left side from SortOf. Lurkers burrowing on in, and there is no detection. MC turning and fleeing immediately. The attack on the left side gets cleaned up here by Immortal Zealot. Really well, actually. That was not a good attack from SortOf.
Yeah, and versus lurkers, Psystorm isn't too bad, and MC has bought himself enough time to have a fair few of those, because units really tend to clump up when attacking with lurkers, so... And now we're seeing SortOf's moving in, though, splitting MC. And the one observer is really over this army, so that could easily be picked off. And if that goes down, MC is in a lot of trouble, not having an answer to these lurkers. High Templar are moving on up, dropping Psystorms, but they are gone. The observer going to get picked off, and MC has no answer. There's another observer.
No.
But that goes down, too. And MC having to walk through these lurkers, that is never a good thing.
Man, if he had detection, those lurkers would be dead. Yeah. Trying to chrono boost that thing out, trying to stand in there, but nope.
MC learning the tough way, just sort of really just getting right on in there. That is why you need to have, or generally try and keep one of your oracles alive. For that reason alone, lurkers.
Yep. Just for the revelation, you can get in there, reveal them, and get the heck on out real fast. But yeah, he had the right answer to that. He had enough immortal and those lurkers, but he didn't have detection. Every time he flew an observer, and they just got smacked right in the face. And yeah, I mean, lurkers are good. They're even better if you cannot see them. And MC got to learn the hard way there to keep that detection alive. And as LaughNgamez said, especially the Oracle, it's easier to keep that alive and with the revelation than it is to keep an observer alive that has to get a little bit closer and kind of hang out in the action.
Definitely. Now MC, like his early and mid game, like it's looking really good, but then it's almost like he doesn't really know where to take it from there. Like, if that makes any sort of sense, like he's just not sure whether to like attack, and then he falls back, and it's like, I'll keep warping in High Templar and whatnot, but then...
But yeah, like where to really get up to big scary Protoss composition is a little bit lost.
Yeah, whether to do that or whether to attack or anything along those lines. But like his early and mid game is looking pretty good, like. But as far as what to do next, he seems a little bit lost.
Yeah, it seemed like his mid-game attacks were pretty good. Game 1, he sniped down an entire base, and then Game 2, he took out the Lurker Den. But as far as getting actual super game-ending levels of damage done there, it didn't really work out. Losing all of his High Templar was a problem. I think if you get those High Templar alive is maybe a bit of a different story, but Immortals were the answer there. It was a very Roach-heavy, Lurker-heavy composition. Detection, Immortals with upgrades, and then something to buffer for those Immortals was definitely the answer he was looking for, just he was missing a couple of those pieces.
Yes, unfortunately for MC fans, this one is looking a little bit rough for him.
A little bit dire, yeah, as we move into Port Alexander, the latter edition.
Here we are, though. It's a best of 5, so that means that MC has one more chance to try and bring it back. But spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, representing Team Cascade, the Swedish Zerg player, it's SortOf.
And spawning in the bottom right is the blue Protoss player, MC.
Yeah, the boss toss. I mean, it's exciting to have him back, but we'll see what he's able to bring out in this one. Maybe he needs to bring out something like really aggressive or something like that, because SortOf is definitely practice versus the tried and true sort of like Stargate opening and whatnot.
Yeah, but again, the problem is if you don't Stargate open, then a Muta answer is really good for Zerg. So it's almost kind of like Protoss is a little bit stuck in that tech path.
Nexus first, by the way.
Hey, all right.
That's one way to change it up.
Yeah, and SortOf's not going to scout this. He's not going to know it's Nexus first until it's too late. You really have to respond to this quickly as Zerg, because a 2-basing Protoss this early with double Chrono Boost can really outstrip you economically as Zerg. They can get so many workers than you can. And really, if you're a Zerg player here, you either have to take a quick third or try to punish this with some early aggression. But if you don't even know what's happening, how do you punish it?
Yeah. I mean, sort of will know once the Overlord gets there, but that takes a while. So I mean, unless it's just like a gamble, right? It's like Zerg opens up early pool, I'm in trouble. Zerg doesn't, I get this nice little advantage. And so the question is, how will MC follow this up? Of course, his gateway is a little bit delayed and whatnot, but we have seen some like pretty powerful, say, 2 bases off, literally just like a Nexus first or something like that, just the way it sets up your economy and such. MC's going double gate behind this, though.
That's a lot of Zealots, LaughNgamez.
Yeah, or maybe just a double Adept opening or something.
Maybe. So here comes the Overlord. It finally gets here 2 minutes in and is going to see the Cybernetics core, is going to see the double gate. And based on the timing on that core, he's going to be suspicious about it. And he's getting far enough in to see the Nexus is done. Definitely a Nexus first opening. And that third base goes down immediately for SortOf. As soon as he can afford it, 2 minutes and 24 seconds, there it is. Recognizing, okay, so nothing crazy here from MC in the first couple of minutes. I don't have to prepare for anything. Let's go ahead and get that third base down and then get Lings as necessary.
MC is making 1 Zealot to start things off. I'm curious if he'll start anything afterwards. Maybe, oh, a Sentry. And another Sentry. Okay. You have my interest, MC. Of course, the Sentries, ever since their energy changed so that hallucinated scouting. As you said, Protoss are pretty good at their scouting lately.
Yep.
That 75 energy instead of the 100 allows you to get that scout off much quicker, which is very nice for Protoss players, but MC's making 2 sentries. And you don't need 2 scouts, really.
Is it like some crazy immortal sentry play?
It could be.
Which, ever since Ravagers were
2012.
introduced, that kind of stopped working.
Yeah. But MC, he is one of these older Protoss, so if someone's gonna try it, it's someone like MC. And then a Stargate behind it. Okay, maybe it's just like a weird fake out or something. And another Stargate. Okay. Alright, MC.
This is weird.
It is.
I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to do. Void Ray Oracle, new meta, MC, 2019.
Maybe, you never know.
You never know. That's what StarCraft is great. You never know.
I mean, he liked the Phoenixes in game number 1, but maybe we'll see Mass Oracle.
Dude, Mass Oracle.
Maybe he watched some 2017 VODs and was like, I know I'm a bit late to the party, but let's go.
It looks a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And there's a Spire from SortOf. So Roach Warren on the way, Spire just now getting started.
MC's got double Stargate, though.
Which he's not using to make Phoenix.
Yeah, okay, he is going up to more than the average Oracle.
Okay, so this is, I mean, 3 is almost required mass, isn't it? Why do you make 3 unless you're going like 10?
I mean, sometimes players like Puck will make a ton of Oracles and use tons of stasis defensively, and just do this constantly. But no, MC, he's saving up. He's not moving in with his 2 Oracles trying to get kills off. He's moving in with his 2 Oracles and is going to try and, or he's saving up for more than 2. You'll usually get around 6. 6 is the magic number to kill off a Spore Crawler.
Real fast, too.
Yeah.
But the problem is, there's going to be Muta, and Muta is a fantastic answer to Oracle, as is anything that's in the sky, because Oracles can't shoot up. Even a couple Corruptors would be amazing here.
MC sees a lack of speed on SortOf's Lings, and he sees the extra gases. Is this Adept going to scout the Spire? Where's the Spire, anyway?
Wait, yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, he did the...
He did the thing.
The YouTube or the Overlord poop and toss it down there?
This is like a TLO thing. Last time I saw someone do this, it was literally TLO in 2015.
So either it was the Evolution Chamber, cancel, throw it down on the remaining creep.
I think it must have been an Overlord dropping the creep, but the Overlord stopped dropping creep.
Which is weird. Anyway, the Oracles are in here, man, and there are Mutas. And
yeah, let's see. Where's those Chrono Boosted Phoenix, MC?
It's too late. All the Oracles are dead. SortOf responding absolutely pitch perfect to this.
Yeah. If MC, it's such a shame how he decided to do that. If he had just gone in with 2 Oracles, SortOf neglected Spores, he would have just killed off so many drones regardless, but... Yeah, him
that
deciding
Muta
to go
count
for the
there.
bigger play. Not panning out for him. But of course, he does have the double Stargate Phoenix, but the thing is sort of just says, all right, well, you're clearly on multiple Stargates, so that means you're going to make a lot of Phoenix to counter me. I'll make Corruptors to counter you.
Yeah, Corruptors are real hard at this point. Somicron there in chat, throwing down the Gosu. Yeah, man, sort of looking real good here. All right, so here comes the push at the front here from SortOf. He's trying to poke stuff up. But the Phoenix chasing those Mutas away. Without question. Ling's rolling into the third base of MC and being dealt with there accordingly with some Zealots and Cannons. And Army Supply 41 to 32 right now. Got more Corruptors on the way here, and there's just not an answer to Corruptor. There are a couple Stalkers, but not enough to shut them down.
Yeah, literally just a couple Stalkers. And there's going to be 9 Corruptors, and once the Corruptors bully the Phoenix off, he can really start to get more damage done. MC invested in a lot of cannons and things, but I mean, you need some Stalkers, and you need more than 2 Stalkers to bully off Corruptors, because Corruptors are good at not dying.
Yes, they have that 1 armor natively. They've got a decent health pool too. And yeah, Stalkers do that bonus damage versus armored, but it takes them forever to kill with you just have a couple.
Yeah, like MC, he's committing to more and more Phoenix, and if you, say, have Phoenix range, they can outrange the Corruptors and kite them for a long time, but generally a Protoss making Phoenix versus a Zerg who's making Corruptors is not going to win. No, not looking good. MC, though, I mean, yeah, he's just running away with his Phoenix, running around. I think he just needs at least a few Stalkers on the ground here or something to force these back, but the Mutas can deal with a couple of Stalkers. All right, Phoenix are doing their best here, but they keep getting picked off one by one by these Corruptors. Mutas picking off those Stalkers. Stalker count is down to 2 right now, and it's just, I mean, the Phoenix actually losing more Mutas here than he should right now is sort of. Really, the Corruptor should be on the front line. The Mutas continuing to kind of sit back here and picks up at the background, which is what they need to do. Can they get that pylon would be a huge pickup. I think the
Phoenix are trying to stop it, though. And no, all the Phoenix are dead. The pylon's down. SortOf, quick 3-0.